Hi, so it's Kate here from Life Is Now, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about why a regular mindfulness practice is important, a daily practice. It's quite common for many of us to struggle with this. I think if there was one thing that came up frequently in my mindfulness classes is, do I really have to do it every day? I just, life gets in the way, or, sometimes it's boring or whatever. And the research shows that there's something about practicing every single day that trains the mind. And what we're talking about is what I sometimes refer to as the mindfulness muscle, that ability to rein the mind back in from wherever it wanders, whether it's the future or the past. Like I spoke about in the previous video about the mind almost being a bit like going for a walk with a dog on a lead. That dog will lead you all over the place, into the past, into the future, but it's your job, because you're walking that dog, to actually lead it in the right direction. And so with a daily mindfulness practice, what we do is we strengthen that ability to bring the mind back. What happens if we do it once a week is we just never really get anywhere. We may find that we can bring the mind back a few times, but generally there's something about just visiting that place daily, just watching the thoughts and where they go to, that seems to strengthen and deepen that practice. And what happens over time is that the mind goes on shorter journeys before we catch it. So that thing about when the mind wanders off somewhere, not about berating yourself, but actually just congratulating yourself for noticing, oh yeah, my mind's just gone on to worry, or my mind's just reminiscing about the past, or it's reflecting on things I could have done better. That's, the fact is you've noticed that, and that's the key. That's what we're looking for. It's not so much achieving that Zen Buddha-like state where there's no thought. Obviously, all of us would, I'm sure, enjoy that if we could just switch that on. But actually, the reality is those places, those moments of quiet come from that persistence and the continuing connection with the mind, and watching where the mind goes, and then just bringing it back. And that daily mindfulness practice, when you do it, it doesn't really matter. Some people like to integrate it into their morning routine. They get up, they sit on the edge of the bed, and it's the first thing they do. Other people like to do it just before they go to sleep. Little caution around doing it when you're tired. It's so easy to fall asleep if you're not careful, which is wonderful and great. But if you're looking to train your mind and to move your mind, to move yourself away from that state of just being the follower of your mind, from depression, anxiety, all those states that the mind can guide us into, then really it's a case of actually just doing it when you're alert enough to catch it. I also am a great advocate. Right now, as you may have heard from the previous video, I'm doing a long walk across Spain called the Camino de Santiago. And I am enjoying taking my mindfulness practice into the outdoors, with nature all around you. There are so many things that can just bring us into the here and now. Everything around you, the sounds. I've got this little babbling brook behind me, or the birds singing, or the colours of the flowers, or the sky as it constantly changes. All of these things can guide our attention away from those thoughts and just back into the moment. So it doesn't need to be done with your eyes closed, but the importance is the intention with which you do it, to actually allocate that period of time just to watch and observe the mind, and as best you can bring it back. And a little trick that I found, you can get various timers that will basically tell you, they will ring a bell after a minute. You can set the alarm on your phone, or you can get actual meditation timers. Perhaps start with a minute, and when the bell goes, just notice where your mind's been and bring it back. And after a while you might find that you can set it to 2 minutes, to 3 minutes, and again, just constantly when you hear the bell, where was my mind off to? Bring it back. So hopefully that gives you a little insight into the importance of a daily practice. Any thoughts or comments, please write below, or drop me an email, and I'm happy to help. And I look forward to bringing another video to you soon.